Pharmaceutical companies do not want you healthy. They want you hooked. And when the prescriptions don't work, their partners in the supplement industry are waiting with a new bottle, a new promise, and the same results, keeping you sick enough to stay a customer to both of them. Big Pharma wants to build a cage, right? He builds the cage, and the supplement industry, which is often just a branch of the pharmaceutical company, paints it green and calls it wellness. Both of them profit when you're dependent and not when you're free. Listen, I'm Dr. Rachael, physician, sexologist, and founder of the Dr. Rachael Institute, and I can tell you healing doesn't come from pills alone, synthetic or natural. It comes from removing the offending agent, finding natural solutions, using the right nutrients in the right balance for the right person. It really is simple. And in this video, I'm exposing 3 supplements that men around the world take every single day, thinking they're doing something good, something healthy, when in reality, they're disrupting hormones, tightening blood vessels, and sabotaging performance where it matters the most. So stick with me and I'll show you how to rethink your supplement routine so that it actually works with your biology and not against it. Now, to understand which supplements are hurting your erection, you first need to understand one simple thing. The real issue with erectile function is the balance of hormones, the health of the blood vessels, the nerve connections, and the health of the tissue underneath the skin of the erection. And your erection happens when blood flows quickly in the right amount into the blood vessels. It's trapped within these blood vessels for as long as you need the erection to last. The first supplement I want to talk about seems completely safe and even healthy. A lot of men over the age of 45 or 50 start taking it. It's hidden within your multivitamin. It is fortified within your orange juice and your milk. And in fact, too much of this will slowly stiffen your arteries and not your erection. Ultimately, it'll lead to hypertension, heart disease, failed erectile health. I'm talking about one of the most common minerals in the human body, calcium. It's essential for muscle function, bone health, and even nerve signaling. But despite the important jobs that calcium plays within overall health, you should not take calcium supplements unless you have some sort of verified calcium deficiency. And right now, based on the latest research, I'm going to explain why. Yes, we've heard for years how important calcium is for bone health. Doctors are still telling women over 50 to take it to protect their bones. And it's doing the opposite. It's giving them high blood pressure and heart disease, keeping big pharma in business. And it's true. As you age, you lose bone mass and your bones become weaker. That does raise the risk of fractures and osteoporosis in both men and women. So the logical thought is if the bones are getting weaker, then we should just take calcium pills, right? Well, studies on calcium supplements have given us really some surprising results. In 2010, a long time ago, a meta-analysis found that people taking calcium pills without vitamin D actually had a 30% higher risk of a heart attack. A newer study out of South Korea found something even worse. In people with osteoporosis who were taking calcium without vitamin D, it demonstrated an increased risk of heart attack by almost 90%. Now, you've got to be asking, what in the world does this have to do with your erection, Dr. Rachael? Well, the answer is simple. Calcium supplements spike the calcium levels in your blood, and that calcium can end up in the walls of your arteries. Those vessels get stiff and unable to expand. They lose elasticity, and blood flow is compromised. Imagine a pipe that was supposed to be open and flexible, but instead it's stiff and it's closed. Blood just can't move through it the way it needs to. Listen, the result, heart disease and erectile dysfunction. Now, does this mean calcium is completely dangerous and you should avoid it altogether? Of course not, because it's in some of our great natural foods. Just don't supplement calcium unless you have a deficiency and your doctor is monitoring that progress very closely. And you know what? Here's a really smart choice. Go check the actual age of your erection right now. Is it aging faster or slower than you are? Well, head over to eage.me or scan this QR code on your screen to use my proprietary erection age calculator. It's completely free, takes only 90 seconds, and you'll get personalized science-backed tips to help you improve it and even turn back the clock. Come back periodically as you learn more to recalculate. Now, we're diving into the most popular supplements that you may actually be taking and unknowingly causing ED. So calcium isn't the only supplement that can hurt your erectile health. Let's take a look at two more. Now, let's talk about a vitamin that for years was advertised as the elixir of youth. You can naturally find it in vegetables. You can find it in nuts, seeds, and green vegetables like spinach. It was said to protect your cells, extend your life, lower cancer risk, and even protect your heart. I'm talking about vitamin E, and it's become one of the biggest hits in the supplement industry. For decades, doctors pushed it. Supplement companies pushed it hard, creating a real boom. But here's the catch. A true deficiency in vitamin E is really rare, and it only shows up in people with rare genetic disorders or serious problems absorbing fats. For the rest of us, we're getting plenty from our food. So the actual need for supplements of vitamin E is almost non-existent. And large, well-controlled studies later revealed that high doses of vitamin E actually did the opposite. It increased the risk of disease and death in certain groups of people. And what about the erection? Well, scientists decided to test vitamin E for prostate cancer prevention. In 2011, they launched a huge study called the SELECT trial. The results were shocking. In the group that took 500 IUs a day of vitamin E, those men had a 17% higher risk of prostate cancer. So vitamin E was advertised as a protection, an antioxidant miracle. But years later, they discovered it was actually increasing the risk of prostate cancer and other things. And listen, you got to second guess those fads. See, although the body may need a healthy dose of antioxidants, the body actually needs a balance between oxidation and reduction for normal cell activity to occur. Too much vitamin E, too much anything can interfere with that balance. So men who face prostate cancer struggle with performance after surgery or after treatment. ED can be temporary with the right erection treatment plan for these guys, like one that includes a pumping protocol, like our P3 pumping program, by optimizing all that is lost during treatment. But it's very difficult when you have a healthcare system that just throws the pills and the procedures at you. That's why I want you to think twice before you take any additional vitamin, particularly vitamin E. Now look at your multivitamins, look at your powders, make sure calcium and vitamin E aren't part of them, because just like calcium, you can get vitamin E naturally through your diets, through nuts, seeds, avocado oil, olive oil, and use it as a co-nutrient where it can actually be beneficial and protective. So something as innocent sounding as a vitamin can throw your whole system off balance. Really, the theme here is balance, because the body isn't a machine. You could just flood more nutrients and more of this and expect better performance. It's a living ecosystem where too much of one thing can actually deplete another. So that brings us to another mineral that's really wildly popular, and it will surprise you. It's marketed as essential for men's health, vitality, and testosterone. In fact, zinc supplements are everywhere. It's in your multivitamins, it's in your immune booster gummies, and in just about every men's performance formula out there. In fact, it's in our Prostate Plus Flow. But surveys show that more than 20% of adults in the U.S. take a zinc supplement every single day. And that number spikes even higher among men over 40. Zinc is essential. Your body uses zinc to make testosterone, to support sperm production. It protects the prostate and powers your immune system. But here's the twist that most supplement ads won't tell you. Too much zinc will cause your copper levels to crash, and it can backfire. When you take high doses of zinc, especially anything over 40 milligrams a day, zinc starts to deplete the copper in your system. You may think, well, so what, Dr. Rachael? Copper isn't just some trace mineral you can afford to lose. You need copper to build strong collagen and elastin in order to keep your blood vessels flexible. Without enough copper, the walls of your arteries, they weaken and they stiffen and they age faster. Imagine taking calcium and zinc together. Like, whoa. What a death trap. And since an erection is all about blood flow, that extra strength zinc pill could actually be quietly choking off your circulation where you need it most. In one study, men who took high doses of zinc for just 6 weeks saw a drop in their good cholesterol and early signs of copper deficiency, both red flags for vascular health. Over time, that imbalance can lead to poor oxygen delivery, low nitric oxide production, and weak erections. And yes, Zinc is vital, but it's also proof that more isn't always better. The sweet spot is balance. Aim to get zinc through food first, from oysters, from pumpkin seeds, eggs, grass-fed meats, and use supplements that actually add copper in them, like ours does. And before you reach for another supplement, kind of consider sometimes less is more. In fact, there's actually one natural powder that's been proven to boost nitric oxide, blood flow, and performance, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. So click this video right here. I'm Dr. Rachel. I love you, and boom, I'm out.